It wasn't anything that I did, guys. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get y'all, trying to give it to you. But let's go back into it. We're talking about
Hey, man.
what's up.
Them folks was like, not again.
Oh, yeah, you saw it. Like I said, yeah, I clicked the whole phase. They said, fuck this. End this shit. End the live, nigga. End the live. But you missed it. Right before you came on, like 30 minutes before you came on, bro. I went up to the convenience store because we're talking about the Arabs in our neighborhood. How none of them really got halal shit in their stores and shit. So I know a few homies that own a couple stores. So I went up to the store and was about to break down to them the thoughts of how these Arabs actually think when they open up these stores and shit. But we ended up talking about love, and we got on the aspect of love, and I was listening to everybody's really pseudo definitions of love. You know, what they were describing to me were chemical reactions.
Right.
What they were describing to me was lust. What they were describing to me was these ethereal things that I can't make tangible. But so they weren't love, right? So I went into the breakdown of what love truly is, what the isness of love, and now we find ourselves here at love. And right when you came in, I was just basically explaining how you shouldn't fall in love. Why you hear everybody talk about they fell in love, but they didn't ascend in love.
Right, they didn't rise in it.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's what we at with it. You know what I'm saying? And what's your thoughts when it comes to people in love and how they view love?
I agree with you. A lot of this shit is, most of this stuff, especially when people try to put a definition to it, it's like, it's elusive. But if we get down to the science of it, a lot of it is serotonin.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of it is oxytocin. A lot of it is,
dopamines, noradrenalines, motherfucking. Yeah, y'all know
but
what it is.
Some people really do feel these things, like they'll feel like they're in love, but it's really just chemical releases based off of stimuli. Because in that same situation, let's say you're in love with somebody based off of the feeling, I feel like I'm in love, but then they do something you don't like, and then what? Now it's no longer you're in love because you get in a different type of feeling, maybe a stress response, you know what I'm saying? Activates a different type of your brain. So what I say is, if somebody says I love you, to me, it's like this, right? It will be along the lines of you saying you care. And if I care for someone, let's keep it simple. You don't have to know somebody for a long time to show them love, right? You don't have to know somebody for a long period of time to say that you love them or that you care for them. That's why I say love and care go hand in hand. Because with love comes care, right? This is just something to think about. So let's say you passing by somebody on the street, right? You don't know this person, but if you got love for that person or can express love for that person and care in some way, shape, form, or fashion, what you can do is extend a hand. And this is why we were taught you have to learn how to care again. Because the same way you say, I love you, but then you abuse them. Or I love you, but then you kick them out the house and leave them out of the cold. That's not taking care of the person or showing care for the person. So what I say love is, which I was taught love is an action. That's what I was taught by Pops. That love itself is an action, but that action will have to be something. So somebody say, I'm making love to this person. Well, what you're doing is you're having sex. And it depends on how you feel about that person, which centers of your body will be active based off of what responses, like you said, chemically, right, will be yielded at that point. You can call it making. Go ahead.
Right. I was going to say this. Somebody asked you to go over sigil magic. We just did a live on sigil magic, and I typically don't talk about sigil magic.
Right.
But because everybody's not ready for that, even if they say they are ready, a lot of you guys are just really not ready for sigil magic. So a lot of the teachers just really, we have to pack that in a particular way because a lot of y'all don't know what y'all getting into when y'all getting into it. Because like talking about love right now, right? So if I was to ask, we have 70 people in here. If I was to ask right now, what is love? We're going to get at least 20 different answers. When love, I know, is absolute. So why do we have all these different answers for love, right? So like you said, love is an action, but love is everything to a certain degree, right? So love would also be an action. It would be a verb. It would be a preposition. It would be an adjective. It would be all. It would be all the above. But to save y'all some trouble, I will give y'all the definition of love, the true definition of love. And the true definition of love is that love is an essence, right? That must be revealed, right? By bonding multiplicity to create oneness. by
All right.
binding multiplicity to create oneness. That is the goal of love. That is its purpose. That is how the universe is sustained. That is how the universe is created. And it goes into that nurturing aspect that Faise was just talking about, because love comes from a space of growth.
Right.
Love creates growth. It creates growth. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Someone asked this. Is love unconditional? If you love a person without conditions, I'm gonna question you, because love thrives best in certain conditions.
Right.
If the conditions aren't suitable, love will change the conditions of that place
Right.
and make it habitable. So
Facts.
love will set the condition. You see what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So
Yeah.
love is conditional. It sets conditions.
Right.
I know a lot of people like, man, I love you unconditionally. Your soul has been snatched or something. Because
Mm-hmm.
there should be conditions to your love. There are
Yep.
certain places where your love can't abound in. You should be like, my love can't abound in this shit. The conditions ain't right. I gotta flee because this shit is overtaking me with some shit. Let me fuck this shit.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta get out. So don't believe in that unconditional shit. That was something the oppressor told you because he was beating your ass. And he said, you better love this shit. You better love this shit. Y'all better stop. Nah, let a nigga love you unconditionally.
Yeah.
A
See,
nigga
look, this
tell
is
you he
what I
love
think.
you.
What I think the power is, what we were taught with love is an action, and I agree with everything you said. Is that all of this is still dealing with the perspective of the person who's doing the thing, right? And also dealing with the person who's receiving whatever the action is. So let's say somebody say, I love this person, and they do the action to say that they love them, but the other person say they don't feel loved. You know, so that reality of love doesn't even connect at that point. Say, I love you, but I don't feel loved. So that is there's no connection there to say that if you were to ask these two people, are they at that point in love, you get two different answers. You know what I'm saying? Or are they both experiencing what they can say in their brain is love? You'll get two different answers, right? And then there's a difference between being in love and having love for somebody, you know, or loving somebody. You can love your brother, your biological brother. You can love your brother. That don't mean you're in love with your brother. Because what we say in that regard, remember we speak in English, so the shit get confusing. But what we saying in that regard, the same way you say making love, you get what I'm saying? But you don't make love with your biologicals or your brothers, but it's still the same word.
Right.
But we associated love with a conjugal reality. You know what I'm saying? And we didn't have to, but it's something that we did, even though what we say making love is, the actual act itself doesn't have to have anything to do with love. Like casual intimacy, or intimacy with somebody you've been in a relationship for a long time, or intimacy with your spouse, or intimacy with your girlfriend or your husband or your wife or whoever. Either one of those acts, as long as we have two people who one is able to produce the efficient seminal fluid and the other one's fertile, that can yield a child. It can still yield new life. No love has to be involved. You understand? Where you have people who are undergoing assaults and there was a child still yielded. You know what I'm saying? So, but we put love in there, say they were making love or love making. No, it's just a conjugal reality that we've associated that word to be. So the point is this: if you're speaking about love, it's still an action, but you have to, at that point, this is why it gets deeper. Then yes, it does have to get deeper than just an action. You have to deal with what is the action at that point. Is the action sex? Okay, you just wanted to put the love word there to make it seem, you know what I'm saying, more mystical.
Yeah.
Right? But it's still, okay, so it's intercourse. All right, I get you now. Oh, is the action that you gave somebody a hug? That's what you did. You gave somebody a hug. Is the action that you gave somebody a gift? Okay, that's what you did. You gave somebody a gift. But this is your way of saying what? What do you say? My love language is this. This is your way of expressing love or whatever you want to. So it's a subjective reality that if people could realize is based off of the receiver and the emitter, people wouldn't try to define it as in set in stone. They would realize that the stone ain't nothing but just the foundation, which is the four-letter word. It's the actions that make people realize what it actually is yielding, the word itself.
Facts.
That is true. And I want to touch on what Heavy said real quick, because a lot of us don't understand that unconditional love is a weapon. right? People think that they can just abuse and do whatever they want to do, and you're supposed to still love them. And that's what people start to understand because they have this Disney-like fairy tale of what love is. And love, remember, is another way of spelling evil backwards, right? And that most people think attachment is love. That's not love. Love is a connection like a bridge that goes back and forth. Attachments are like vacuum cleaners. They dusty and they suck. You know what I'm
But
saying? So
worldly,
that's what
worldly,
people.
worldly love. That's the second.
Yes.
That's the second phase of love. So you have lust, right? Then you have, what's it called? Attraction, right? And then you have attachment, right? These are the phases of love. It starts with a lust, right? And this is when it's starting from a lustful place, it's going to be driven by one of the hormones. So it's going to be driven by testosterone or it's going to be driven by estrogen, right? This is your need to produce, your need to want to get these urges off of you, right? So it's that would be it coming from a lustful place,
So
right? If it's
is
coming
there
through,
uncommitment when you have a lust thought in a commitment with another being? Is there uncommitment there?
wait, say that one more time. I'm sorry.
If you're to have a lust thought, you're in love, and you have a lust thought about another being coming by. Is that uncommitment? Is that not commitment? Are you going against your commitment?
Wait, are you saying is love commitment?
Not
Are
not
you saying
in love commitment, but like in its being of if we're lusting, he's saying lusting. I'm moving off of lust.
are you asking it? Are you being unfaithful to your partner? Is that
Thank
what you're asking?
thank you,
Okay.
Heavy. There you go. Thank
Are
you.
you being
Thank you.
unfaithful? Okay.
Thank you, Heavy.
Okay. Um. This is this would this is a layered question. All right. Because if you on some levels of things, if I've seen something, I've experienced it.